for today's session, it's kind of like something that I did last week and I couldn't finish it. So it's more like a continuing, but it's okay. If you were not here last week, it's gonna be super easy to follow. All right. I usually start with some questions. So I have 2 questions for you today. Okay. And I want you to talk with your partner. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room where you will meet the new people, right, that you can talk to and discuss about these questions. Just for the brief sessions, and then we'll come back and then we'll talk about what is the main grammar structure that we want to talk about today. So my first question is, what were you dreaming of becoming when you were a child? And I highlighted, were you dreaming? Second one, what book had you already done, or what book had you already read, right, before you saw the film version? I give you some example. I was always dreaming to become a doctor when I was a child. And then reality kicked in when I was in high school and I realized I don't really like biology. So no, not a doctor for me, right? Second question, there were so many books that I read before I actually saw a movie, and most of the time I kind of not really like it. The really obvious one is a Harry Potter, Hunger Game, all those things. I read all the books before I saw the movies. And what about you? So I'm going to put you in a breakout room and discuss about this. Okay, are we good? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, so one is, what were you dreaming? Second, when you were little, when you were a child. Second, which book that you read and before you saw the film. Okay, you just need to click join in order to go into the room. So have fun. I'll put the questions in a broadcasting so you could see the questions while you discuss with your friends. Okay, good. Yes, that's what I like when I see the students are coming back. And hold on 1 second. What's going on here? Oh, here we go. So yes, I hope you guys had a great conversation. Don't worry if you didn't have time to talk to your partner that much. At the end of the session, I usually leave it longer time for you to discuss with your friend and practice of what we learned today. So the reason that I start with those 2 questions is that we're going to talk about 2 tenses today. I know it's a grammar lesson, not a lot of people enjoying it, but it is something that we all need to learn how to use it, especially when you talk about past, right? So the conversation that you had with your friend earlier, it's all about something that happened in the past. You already read the book before you saw the movie. You were dreaming to become something when you were a child, right? So it happened in the past. So in the past, if it happens in the past, ended in the past, nothing else, we use simple past, right? I ate dinner last night. I ate steak last night. So it happened in the past, ended in the past. But if you want to talk about something specific, right? When we talk about past perfect, we use had plus past participle. When are we using this past perfect? When we want to talk about one event that happened before another complete past event. For example, the meeting had ended when he arrived. Look at the sentence. How many events in this sentence? 1 or 2? The meeting had ended when he arrived. How many events?
2 events.
2 events. Which one happened first?
Ended. The meeting ended.
Yes. So the meeting had ended and then he arrived, right? So past perfect, when you want to talk about 2 events, one that happened first, we use past perfect. second one, we use just simple past. So this is just a simple rule. I'm not gonna go crazy on the rest. Just 2 events, both of them in the past, ended in the past, one that happened first, past perfect, the second event, simple past. Past continuous, when you talk about something in progress, Ms. Ryder, past continuous, is that the same thing as past progressive? Yes, same thing, right? You might, when you were study English, the teacher might use continuous or progressive. It is the same thing. Past continuous was a word with ing. To talk about something in progress at a particular time in the past, we were talking when he arrived, right? We were having a meeting when he arrived. 2 events, one happened in the past that is progressing. Are we good? Yes? All right, you see a little bit better when we do a practice. So let's do some practice today. So the first one, I have the verb for you here, and we're gonna figure it out what we're gonna use, past perfect or past continuous. Let's do number 1 together. I'm gonna read it. I blank for a large food company which didn't employ many women. 2 events, both of them in the past. Which one happened? Is that about something in progress or something that happened and ended?
In progress.
Yes, good job. So we will use past continuous. Then it will be I was working. Excellent. You see that? So I was working continuous with the company that did not employ many women. Good job. Number 2, who wants to try? Don't be shy. This is the way we practice. Ben, can I ask you at least maybe just read the sentence and then we figure it out together as a group?
Okay. It was terrible to hear this because I already discussed with him how difficult it was to be the only woman.
Good. So 2 events, okay, right? Both of them in the past. Thank you, Ben. It was terrible to hear because I blank with him. So is it in progress or something that already done?
Already done.
Yes. So which one do we use? Past perfect or past continuous?
Past perfect.
Yes. So what is the past perfect again? Had plus past participle. So had
already discussed.
Excellent. Had already discussed. Good job, Ben. Thank you. Right. So when you read, you look, 2 events. Is that in progress or something that already finished? Thank you, Ben. Number 3, let's do Marie. Let's try at least maybe just read the sentence and we can figure it out together. You are mute. Still mute.
And
oh,
now,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
6 months after that, I ran the factory.
Thank you. In progress, continuing, or it's done?
In progress.
Yes. So in progress, past continuous, right?
Yeah,
so how do we change to past continuous? I
was running the factory.
Excellent. Thank you. Good job. I was running. Good. Thank you. Number 4, Acer.
You're mute.
Yeah, you
I'm
are
on.
mute. Yep, perfect.
He answered the phone twice and even replied to an email.
Can you read the full sentence?
We talk about the usual things, but during all of this, he answered the phone twice and even replied to an email.
Thank you very much. So 2 events. Is it
There you go.
continuing or something that already done?
One moment.
Yeah, no worry, take your time. So one is we talked about the usual thing. Second one, he answered the phone. So we talked first and done, or we continuing talking?
We was talking about the usual things, but during all of the, yes?
Excellent. We were talking, right? We were.
We were. We were, yes.
Yeah, but you got it. Good job. Thank you, Acer. Next one, Eddie.
This annoyed me because I was preparing very thoroughly.
This annoyed me because I happened or done already or continuing?
Oh. Had prepared.
It's done already, right? So if it's done already, so I had prepared. Good. Thank you. Good job. Number 6. Anybody wants to go? Sophia, Ilya?
Yes, Ilya.
Yes.
Some weeks later, I heard that he was fired, but I was leaving by then.
So thank you. 2 events, right? I heard the news and I leave. So 2 events. Is it continuing that I leaving or I had already left?
Already left.
Yes, I had already left. Good.
I had
Yeah.
left.
I had left. Yeah. If you notice one thing, I give you a trick. If you see already, the word already here, already, that means
Okay.
it's done,
Okay.
right? It's done. So that means we're going to use past perfect. Same thing like we use past, like present perfect. So I know it's a little bit much to take in one session, but this is something that when you especially talk about the past, you would hear this a lot, right? Like, let's say I said, well, we were watching a Netflix show yesterday when somebody rang the door, right? When I was trying to tell you the story, somebody came into the room, right? I had already finished my dinner. Then my dad called me, right? Something that you want to talk about in the past. It's okay that you want to use simple past all the time, but again, to make it a little bit more advanced, you can add past perfect and past continuous. It needs some practice. These my way of looking at this is, if you are not comfortable to use these tenses, it's okay, right? You can just use simple past, it's fine. But I want you to familiar with when you heard somebody tell this to you, you understand, oh, she already left before, she had already left before I arrived, right? So I want you to understand when somebody talks to you, if you don't feel comfortable using them. All right, let's do another. I'm not going to have time to do this. This is a little bit longer than I thought. Let's do some speaking practice. I'm going to put you back into breakout room again, but different partners. I want you to talk about important events in your life in the past, right? Try to practice using past perfect and past continuous in your conversation. I give you some examples, right? I had graduated elementary school when I moved to New York. This is about me, right? So I finished my elementary school and then I moved to New York. Both of them is in the past. Second one, I was working in a private school when I got married, right? Continuing in that private school when I got married. So think about important events in your life and try to practice using past perfect and past continuous, as many as you can. Again, this will be, both of them are in the past. One is both of them two events in the past. One, it happened and done, past perfect. The other one, happened and continuing, that is a past continuous. All right, so I'm gonna put you in a group.